a horde of people come in behind us to also exit. So I'm just standing, and it's like, everybody is smelling this terrible fart right now. So I'm trying to like hold in laughter because like nobody knows who it is. You know what I mean? It could be anywhere. So we're standing waiting at the door. Big group comes in. We walk out, and immediately like both of us start laughing at it. And there's a guy behind us talking to his friend. He's like, man, I'll never forget this. I can still hear it plain as day in my head. The guy is like, man, it smelled like straight up booty.
Podcast hosted by two white comedians, a stereotype about the blandest ingredients that childhoods didn't prepare them for life. Sexual tension you can cut with a knife. Podcast. Two white comedians. Podcast. Two white comedians.
Okay. So we're going.
Hello.
This is the Unseasoned podcast. As we record, we are on the verge of launching 3 episodes in one day. But this is like 5 weeks ago for you guys. I guess first off, come see us do stand up. Let's do the plug thing at the beginning. Why don't we do that? Because we get to the end and we're like, oh, we didn't even think about it. Upcoming. We got to go way in the future. May 17th, I'm at Bickerson's Brewhouse headlining. Jess is opening. If you make this podcast popular enough, we can convert it into co-headlining, and it'll be an Unseasoned show. Otherwise, it's just me headlining, Jess opening, me spending a bunch of money on ads. Also, this is you. I think I booked you on this. May 24th at the Beat Drop Kitchen and Event Center in Lacey, Washington. Same deal. Listen, you Unseasoned heads, you folks out there with no seasoning, you sell some tickets without us having to pay ad money, then these are Unseasoned shows. Otherwise, I'm taking it all for my goddamn self.
We got to come up with a name for our fans.
Yeah, we'll call them the Peppers, the little peppers.
The
Salts and Peppers.
Salts and pepper. I was thinking of empty salt and pepper shakers.
Oh, we hate them? We think they're stupid?
No, we are Unseasoned.
They lack no substance? Or they lack substance? Oh. Well, maybe they're the thing that seasons us.
That could be. Right. Shower us with flavor.
Well, now that you've turned the podcast off, let's get into. I have a very, very fresh story from last night.
Piping hot.
So I'm a homeowner, unlike you pieces of shit. No, I assume that nobody that listens to I'm the only podcast listening homeowner in the world. Is what I feel like.
Okay.
Especially comedy podcasts. Dude, sometimes you have comedy shows where you're like, this is like a super fan of comedy, and you're like, oh, dude, you can't keep a job. Like, you are just a complete moron. I mean, I love you guys.
Welcome.
You guys are great,
to the show. Please stick around.
Nobody that I've met ever, but that might be listening to this. But so I own a home. Prior to this, I lived in when we got our apartment, it was the 7th floor of a building, big building. And then we ended up moving to the 2nd floor of that same building. But it's like, homes are noisy. They make like noises, right?
Yeah.
You take it for granted, but like in a home, you hear your furnace, you hear the vents, you hear your all kinds of stuff kicking on and off throughout that's normally in a boiler in a garage somewhere, and in a home, it's all, you're responsible for all of it, and it all is coming on and off, and you're in it. You're experiencing it. So, like last year, I had a problem with the furnace, and now I know exactly what it sounds like when the furnace starts up, because the igniter on a furnace, something went on where like I uninstalled and reinstalled like 6 of them, and I know if you get like your hand oil on them, it can fuck them up. These are all like probably Chinese made knockoff shit from Amazon.
Yeah.
But
you're not afraid anymore.
No, I'm still very afraid.
Home Alone reference.
Yes, that's true.
You hear me? I'm not afraid anymore.
So we finally got one that's working, fingers crossed. We have a backup in there. We're all squared away with that. But last night I went to bed. Laundry was running, but I went in the bathroom and it was like there was like a loud kind of humming noise. And it was like, it wasn't the fan. I went upstairs. It wasn't the fan up here. The laundry was going. I'm like, maybe it's just like a vibration of the washing machine. It's because it was like a consistent hum.
Yeah.
There's like pipe noises and house settling noises. We have a little beverage cooler, which is what they call those stupid little mini fridges. For some reason, if it's got like a glass front and no freezer, they call it a beverage cooler. Apparently very different from a refrigerator.
Podcast listeners will not be familiar.
Yeah, none of you pieces of garbage own a beverage cooler.
Tier of beverage
But everything
cooling.
that thing clicks, my dog thinks there's a home intruder and just loses her mind. Homes are noisy.
Yeah.
This vibration thing is happening. I reach the end of my energy, go to sleep, wake up 3 a.m. to piss. It's still going at the same speed. And I'm like, well, the laundry's done. We know the laundry's done. And so I'm like, I don't know. I got to figure out what this is. The first thing I put into Google, I'm like, humming noise in the bathroom. They're like, water pressure's too high. Could cause the pipes to burst. I start spiraling. First thing I do, by the way, text a friend of the podcast, Greg Beechler, because the other thing they say is upstairs toilet seal could cause downstairs vibration in these pipes. Greg Beechler installed this toilet in my home.
Yes.
And also he's done a bunch of work. You and him have done a bunch of work when I need a real man here. Great Tommy Johnigan joke, by the way. So I'm like, this water pressure thing, I'm like, making sure every faucet in there is off. I turn off the line to the toilet. I come up here. I turn off the line to this toilet. I make sure every faucet's off up here. Because also I'm like, is there just like a pipe burst in the walls or something? And now we're going to have a ton of water damage. And then you and I, mostly you, installed a hose bib on the front of the house. And I'm like, there's obviously a water source to the bathroom. So I literally at 3 a.m, I put clothes back on. I'm a boxers only sleeper.
Yes.
Put clothes back on. My wife is like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And I'm like, "There's this noise. I gotta go check it." And she goes, "You're throwing up?" She's like, I'm like,
I might.
I'm like, no, I'm not throwing up. This is the most frustrating thing because I'm trying to do this in a way that makes you not wake up. But if I explain this to you, it's going to stress you out. You're going to wake up. And I'm like, no, I'm not throwing up. And then I just leave, which then stresses her out because I ended the conversation abruptly, which is anyways. So I walk through the entire house and you can only hear it in that one spot, like in the bathroom. It's not, I go turn both we have hoses set up for automatic sprinklers outside. I turn all that off. I'm turning every goddamn thing off outside of going straight to the water main, like at the street. Everything short of that, I'm turning everything off. I turn the furnace off, which I know it's not the furnace. I know where the furnace is. It's not there.
Yeah.
It's not in the bathroom. Turn off the air conditioning in our bedroom, which is also like kind of close to this area. None of this solves it. And my wife is like, she's also like, it's the toilet. I'm like, I know, you don't need to tell me. I've been awake for 30 minutes longer than you.
Kids now have been asleep this whole time?
Oh, this is like 3:35 in the morning.
Okay.
It's 3 in the morning. Yeah. Oh, kids didn't wake up.
Gotcha.
They both have white noise machines in their room because we live in a busy area.
Yeah.
So whenever they leave our home and they go to sleep in a place where it's quiet, they're going to lose their minds.
Oh, yeah.
But now my wife is up and she's stressed out, but providing no help, just stress. She's just saying like, well, what if it's this? She's not offering any solutions. She's explaining things that are like the first results you get on Google that I've already explored.
Oh, right.
And I'm like, if the water pressure's too high, what do I need to do? And I'm like texting Greg to be like, hey, because I know Greg works limited hours, so he can probably come at like 1 o'clock. So if worst case scenario, if I have to go like shut off the water at the street, worst case scenario is that's only till maybe 2 or 3, hopefully, when he can get over here. And I'm working through all these scenarios in my mind. And I've also been like, I've had like I was a little bit sick last week, and I'm like right at the end of it. And I've got like this thing where when I drink alcohol right now. I just get like, it's just bad. It's just, the results are bad, we'll say.
Yeah.
I didn't throw up.
Okay.
Out of that end anyway. So this hits me at like 3:55, this a bout of alcohol-related diarrhea. And I sit down, and as I sit down on the toilet, I'm like, it got louder when I sat down on the toilet. What the fuck is this? And then I go, oh. In our bathroom, we have a jacuzzi-style tub. By the way, you pieces of shit, it's not that new. Don't use this as an excuse to not buy merch on the road. We didn't purchase
sprinkler system, beverage cooler, jacuzzi style
It
tub.
is very funny because those three things sound
You're like a Price is Right showcase.
Yeah, beverage cooler sounds very. Beverage cooler is probably the nicest thing in there. The jacuzzi tub is like from maybe the early 2000s or late 90s. It's like an old, like beige jacuzzi tub, right? This isn't, it's not even, it's like fiberglass, not porcelain. But, like, it's like we have a hot tub basically in our, it sounds like I'm bragging, but I was making the joke that I'm not. And the sprinkler system, by the way, is not a sprinkler system. You've seen it. It's a hose that I've connected to these like Wi-Fi automatic sprinkler nozzles that you can put the kind of sprinkler you would run through in your yard, and you just if you put enough of those together, it's like I'm by the way, we have air conditioning, which is just a bunch of fucking air conditioners. Yeah, right. We have a bunch of window AC. We have 6 window ACs. So I have the shittiest version of a thing that could possibly be nice. Welcome to home ownership. Anyways, last night, while I was cooking dinner, my wife gave both of our kids baths at the same time because they're old enough to do that now. And they have a blast in there. This jacuzzi tub has jets.
Yeah.
When there's water impeding those jets, it's very obvious the jets are running. When it's not, you know what it sounds like? High water pressure in a pipe. And it's just... So I spent like almost a full hour. I mean, I'm literally walking laps around our house at 3 a.m. with my fucking phone flashlight, looking at like head to the wall, listening to like I'm diagnosing a fucking heart murmur. You know what I mean, dude? It was so. I mean, I'm glad we figured it out. But one of the kids must have, on the way out, like as the water was draining, accidentally pushed this button. That we don't ever use these jets, so it's not like anyone knew that was. We don't ever turn them on. We don't use this tub as like a jacuzzi. We use it as a shower.
So the jets are going into an empty tub?
Yeah, they're just... there's no water in the jets either. It's just the jets running dry into a dry tub. Because normally what they do is they suck in water and shoot it back out. They don't actually shoot water out.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm just making sure... Oh, good. I have I got an alert from daycare. I'm making sure my one daughter doesn't... Every time we get an alert from daycare that's like not at a normal time, you're like, oh, fuck, are they telling us to come pick her up? So anyway, yeah, we had a stressful, it was very dumb and a very like, why I need a real man every now and then type of thing.
Damn.
I saw one of the videos I watched, as I was taking a shit and ultimately finding the solution to my problem, I was watching a video of a guy who went to his mom's house. It's probably a setup video, but she goes, I hear this vibrating in the bathroom. Same, like literally, dude, it sounded like the exact same thing. And it was a toothbrush in her like medicine cabinet. So anyway, it felt very stupid and I'm so tired.
Have you looked up how bad it is for those jets to be running dry for several hours?
One, no, but 2, we never use them, so I don't even care. If they stop working, great.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, we don't, I mean, I don't like them. We don't like them.
Yeah, I don't like them.
Well, you don't even own them. You're one of these pieces of shit that lives in an apartment.
Solidarity, our podcast listeners.
Yeah, the working class.
I like how you said that was a clean, family-friendly story, and you referenced diarrhea during it.
Well, compared to the kind of stuff, the kind of filth you're about to bring to this It was pretty family friendly.
Have you been to Vegas? Have we talked about you going to Vegas?
I went one time for a day job work thing.
Ugh.
And I will say I showed up and
That sounds like a cover. That sounds like somebody cheating, and they're like, "I know I got this work thing in Vegas. It's weird, I know."
well, it's a big convention town, so I was there to be at this convention, and I'm also like in day jobs historically. I'm like kind of elusive. I do comedy, and I'm like not super social. So when I'm not saying like I'm a celebrity among my coworkers, but. I know that's by the way. When they catch me out, they're like they want to fucking drink and hang out and stuff. So these guys that I already got along with, I show up. They've been there for 3 days already.
Yeah,
and because I fought my way out of going more than a couple days, and because I had comedy, right? So this is many years ago, but like pre-pandemic, but I show up and these guys are already gambling, already drunk, and I'm like, well, I got to catch up. So I have like 3 beers very quickly, and then one guy wins $800, and he goes, I told my wife I wasn't gambling, so we got to spend this whole $800 tonight. So he's just buying drink after drink, which, by the way, it's like in cash, like just...
What crazy logic is that?
I don't know, but I'm the beneficiary. So, so he buys everyone drinks, we buy cigars, we're drinking whiskey, we're drinking beer, we're drinking champagne, like everything. And it's, I mean, $800 doesn't go that far, but for like 6 dudes, you can get pretty fucked up on that. And we're gambling. He's like giving everyone money to gamble. It makes it seem like he's got like $1,100 or $11,000 that he's giving everybody. No, we just are cheap or like, low class enough to live pretty well off of. I mean, this dude, I'll tell you, has some window ACs and and dude, I woke up so hungover that I went out to like the convention floor just to make sure that everyone saw that I was there, and then went back and slept for like 5 more hours in my hotel room. Man.
I've only been to Vegas once. It was my brother-in-law's 21st birthday, so him and my wife and my in-laws. I know, it's weird. We all fly to Vegas. It was my first time on a plane. Nice short flight, good entry into flying. But
it's I don't remember the Vegas airport. Is that a rocky or a not? Is that a scary airport or not a scary airport?
I have no idea.
Okay.
I don't know how it wasn't scary for me.
Gotcha.
I enjoyed it.
I think maybe it can be windy. A lot of desert.
I've heard there's a lot of turbulence coming in there sometimes. So we're in Vegas. I am currently at the time on probation, so I couldn't drink or really enjoy Vegas as much as I would have liked to.
Sure.
It rained while we were there, which doesn't rain a lot in Vegas, but when it does, boy, does it reconstitute all the puke and piss that's all over the streets of Vegas. So it just smells like you're walking
I didn't know that it was like the tang of puke. It's like the dry Gatorade powder of puke.
It's similar. I used to clean like tour buses, like day tour buses, and there'd be like party buses, and those buses would come in at like 3 a.m, just like plastered with puke. There's bathrooms in those things, just annihilated. So it reminded me of that. But we're in Vegas, and we're just kind of like perusing around, walking and stuff, and we are in, I don't remember which place we were, because you visit like multiple hotels because they've got the casinos in there. So we're walking around through the casino. We're going to leave the casino we're in. We approach the exit, and now there's a big group coming in. It's just my wife and I standing on the inside at the door waiting for this big group to come in, and I have just the nastiest, most sickly bout of gas, and I rip ass because I'm like, well, this is funny, like I'm gonna be out of here soon. These people are coming in. This is great for me. So I fart. It's hot, damp, So it's just like, it's like farting in the shower. How
Yeah.
it just like, it saturates the whole
It
area.
just becomes part of the atmosphere.
Yeah. So I fart and like we're laughing because it's bad. And then a horde of people come in behind us to also exit. So I'm just standing and it's like, everybody is smelling this terrible fart right now. So I'm trying to like hold in laughter because like nobody knows who it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It could be anywhere. So we're standing waiting at the door. Big group comes in. We walk out and immediately like both of us start laughing at it. And there's a guy behind us talking to his friend. He's like, man, I'll never forget this. I can still hear it plain as day in my head. The guy is like, man, it smelled like straight up booty.
So my oldest is 5, and she's still at an age where she thinks farts are the funniest thing in the world.
Yeah.
And
hopefully that never dies.
It will. My wife will kill it. My wife. I watch my wife just giving her these like feminine characteristics.
Gotcha.
She's just like installing them piece by piece, and I'm like, I'm trying to keep this little like give me a little comedian out of this kid, you know. And she's like, no, it's you watch like my wife doesn't. My wife's super picky about food.
Yes.
And my daughter used to be like, would eat fucking anything.
Yeah.
And now my wife calls like the fat on a steak or the fat on a brisket, she calls it the squishy part. Now my daughter does not like the squishy part.
Yeah.
And my daughter doesn't know well enough to know that like there's a lean part of the steak that could be tender that's not squishy. My wife means a different thing, but she's like, oh, well, it's soft, so it can't be good. And
Yeah, that's trouble. I have another, this is a good fart story. You know Shaka Bra
Java,
Java on 6th Ave.
former home of an open mic that Jess hosted.
Yeah, for a year, every Friday I hosted an open mic. Never gonna do that again. I'll host open mics, but I'm not producing an open mic for the rest of my life.
First place that I did comedy after our first daughter was born.
Oh,
Because it was very convenient and you let me just jump on and leave immediately.
yeah.
And so it was like the whole process was like 30 minutes. Like from the time I
that's
left
great.
my door till the time. Yeah. And it
That's
was
great.
I was like 45 days without doing comedy because I stopped a little while before and a little while after she was born. And it was not great, but it was material that ended up being, by the way, like on that first like 25-minute thing.
Oh, nice.
Like some of my favorite jokes.
Nice. So this is after the open mic has died. This is post-pandemic. So we're coming back. We've not done anything in that room for years now, but decide to put like one show together and like the venue like kind of wants to start doing comedy again. So I had to pop in and drop off some posters and then like check out the room, check out seating and everything. And I am leaving the venue, and this place, some of you are, I'm sure, familiar, but for those that aren't, it's on the corner. It's like a storefront kind of setup. The exit and entrance is like kind of at an angle, like a 45 degree to that corner.
Yeah.
There's a table like right by that door. So there's like a family sitting here at the corner. As I'm walking out, I'm like, oh, I got a big fart inside, deep inside, but not too deep. Not too deep. It's approaching the exit just as I am.
Sure.
We are both now about to exit.
You're in synchronization with
Yes. So
system.
I'm walking toward the door. My first instinct is like, well, I'll wait till I get out of the door to release this into the wild.
Sure.
But then I see this family sitting right by the door. There's a kid closest to the door. He's got his back to the door. And so like right as I'm exiting, I'm like, no, there's a better way. This is what I'll do. So I push with all my might right as my ass is like at this kid's head right by his ear. And I just like force this fart out, and I can't hear it because now I'm like halfway through the door, but my ass is not. My ass is halfway into this kid's brain.
Gotcha.
I force the fart. I can't hear it, but I can feel
it's like a fart
audible.
glory hole.
Yeah, it's audible. I
Yeah.
can feel like, you know,
The
what
windows
I mean?
are shaking.
Yeah, oh yeah. I'm glad if I hadn't opened the door would open on
would've
its
blown
own
open
because of the
itself, yeah.
pressure. And I just force a fart deep into this kid's mind and memory. He'll never forget it. And I'm out, I'm gone. And all I can think about now is just like, this kid, is he going to tell his family? Like, that guy just farted because I don't know if they heard it. You know, he just has to live with this. I laughed so hard. I had to get in the car. I made calls immediately. I'm telling people about it. I had to share it. One of my best fart memories.
I've tried to do this on stage as a story, and I just don't know that it's ever going to work, or if I'll ever have enough meat on the bone to make it like a full bit. But when I was probably 19, I lived with my mom until I was 21, and then which you didn't, right? You didn't live with.
No, she was cured of cancer before then.
Cured. I heard someone else call. Did you get that from someone else? Did you see a clip with that?
I don't think so.
Oh, I saw a thing with Byron Bowers and Pete Holmes. Byron Bowers is so funny, by the way. But he's like, yeah, my dad was a schizophrenic. And then he goes, Pete's like, was? And he goes, well, he got cured. And he goes, oh, really? He's like, yeah, God cured him. And he goes, oh, my God, tell me everything. And he goes, well, he died. So I was living at my mom's house. And my sister lived there. She was, I don't know, 16 years old or something like that. And we lived in this, after my parents got divorced, we moved into this duplex that was like top floor and then a daylight basement. You know what that means?
Yes.
Okay. Well, for our listeners, our listeners probably live in a daylight basement, all in one daylight basement right now. It's like, it's got an exit to the outside. So it's like a 2-story house, but one side is like dug into the ground kind of, and the other side has like an exit out. So we lived in this daylight basement that had 2 bedrooms and like a separate like family room. And then my mom had a bedroom upstairs, and then the living room and the kitchen and all that shit were up there. And so one day my sister and I were both leaving the downstairs to go upstairs, and I'm walking behind my sister, and I'm like 3 steps behind. And this kid, like, you couldn't have had a more direct shot.
Yeah.
Into my mouth, basically.
Yeah.
Of just farted directly. I tasted her fart immediately. There was no, like, if it was like when the stories they talk about how the nuclear bomb went off, and like before, people didn't even know that they were victims of the nuclear bomb because of how quickly I did not know for like, I think 30 seconds after I was tasting fecal matter that had just been expelled from my sister's ass. And this is a story I've told it to her husband, I've told it to her in-laws, I've told it to every person trying to discredit this, this disgusting person, my sister. And people seem to like her still, but yeah, it's I've been trying to do a joke about her. I did try to do a joke about it a couple times. I can't get it to work, and she always is like, "You should put me in a joke," and that's like the one thing that I think is like the easiest path to a joke about her. And I just can't. I mean, it's a funny thing, but it's not enough for a full joke.
Yeah, that's tough.
All right, let me tell you about my St. Patrick's Day. Because you have a show to talk about also, right?
I do.
Okay, so this is a show that I did on St. Patrick's Day, booked by the very funny James Fitzmaurice.
Ooh, I love that guy.
Good guy.
His comedy is just, he gets me.
He gets you and almost nobody else a lot of the time.
I love him.
He booked an all-Irish name show for St. Patrick's Day. And we were trying to do something funny like Patrice O'Neill, if they're like, he's got an Irish last name. That would have been funny, but there's not. I was even like trying to think of guys that would work, or people who would work that were like obviously not Irish, but had kind of Irish sounding names. Typically, like a black person would be. He didn't find any, so it's like a show. I did 30 to close it, but there were like, I think 3 guest spots and 3 15-minute spots, and I did 30 to close it, and he hosted. So what
Gotcha.
does that come out to? Like 8 total comics, all straight white men.
Yeah.
Which, you know, I got nothing against it. But I did go on stage though, so the show's going fine. It's not a super well attended show. It's not a perfect crowd, but there's some heat. These aren't complete cold fish. Like they're decent. And our friend Willie Dean goes up before me and has like a divisive, but like the people who are loving him.
Yeah.
And there's this lady up front that's at everything he says that's like controversial. She's dying, and I'm like, this lady's gonna love me. She's she is gonna love me. Black lady, I will say. And I go up and I go, everyone give it up for James Fitz, your host. And they like clap, and I go, wow, all Irish show. This is a crazy way to book an all white or a whites only show. I say a whites only show.
Yeah.
And this lady like goes, and I was like, I go, oh, thank you for coming. I'm not saying the audience, I'm talking about the lineup. And then she turns away from me. She's in the front row, 6th and Proctor, small club, very intimate.
Yeah.
She's in the front row. Front row is like visible to everybody. Like everyone can see.
You're basically in the front row.
I'm basically in the front row. She turns her body like if I'm 6 o'clock, she's at like 11 o'clock. Mm-hmm. So not quite at 12 o'clock. Maybe she's at like 10:30. Yeah. She's like 45
For those
degrees.
familiar with clocks, 11
if you have a clock in your
pretty
shitty
close
home.
to 12.
So I'm like, it's pretty obvious that she's not loving me immediately. Like I like tried to save it. So what I realize now is what she heard is that like somehow got out of this that I wanted it to be a whites only show because. So this is 30 minutes before the end of the show. I'm the last comic on the show. This is about the time they start dropping checks. She's just angrily filling out her check, like so mad. And I don't know what the dynamics are in this room. I don't know who's sitting with who's there with, if it's 2 people that are there with 2 other people they know.
Yes.
She gets up and goes, "You got your fucking whites only show now," and walks out of the showroom.
Oh, no.
And I go, "Oh, fuck, that's not what I meant." And then I made some jokes about how like, "Oh, fuck, that sucks." And she's probably going to leave a bad review. And that's not what I meant. And I feel very bad. And I think she didn't hear that I was the last comic of the night. Because then like 28 minutes into my set, this is like 2 minutes before the end of the show, she comes back into the showroom and sits down. So she didn't leave. She just left. She just took a breather, which is, by the way, here's what I'll say. If you're pissed off at a show, I'm going to give this lady a lot of credit. If you're pissed off, don't yell the thing because she misunderstood the joke. And then like 5 minutes later, her friend left. And I kind of wonder if her friend was like, "I think you might have misunderstood what he said." But it was a white friend. So I don't know. She might have felt uncomfortable being like, on this day of white celebration, let me tell you how you're wrong, lady. But yeah, then she came back and sat down, and because I did a joke that was like, I have this new joke that I'm like, it's like really, really dark, and then it gets to a point where it's still dark, but it's like, it appeals to women, I would say, without giving too much of it away. Okay. And when she like did not even fucking flinch to laugh. I was like, oh, this is like, we're done. Like, it's over. This is. And so she leaves, takes a breather. Great move.
Yes.
Don't disrupt the show.
Yes.
Walk out. I mean, she's out there probably, fit me for a Klan robe or something like that. I will say, I said that this looks like the lineup looks like a Proud Boys meeting.
Yeah.
Which, again, I'm making fun of Fitz, not this lady, for being
Right.
And also, I'm going to tell you one other thing. There were a lot more non-white people in that room than just her. She was like speaking for all the non-white people. I had like 3 black dudes come up to me. I was like, "You were fucking great," but didn't like completely try to avoid this lady.
Yeah.
And I have a story to tell you off the podcast because I have no idea. if this person is even, if we're allowed to make fun of this person, but we'll decide and maybe tell it next week. But not this lady. So, anyways, this lady, she comes back in, and I think I got her to crack like a half smile by the end of those 2 minutes. But when she comes in, I'm like, well, I'm going to acknowledge that you came back in, and then immediately we're like back to bad rapport. Like, if I had not acknowledged her, we might have been okay. But immediately, it's like we're both mad about the way this worked out, and just immediately back to bad rapport. And then you just feel so bad because you're like, I didn't even say anything. I was making fun of Fitz for booking the show.
Yeah.
I did not say a thing that like I would have deemed offensive. And it's one of the greatest pastimes of being a white guy is calling other white guys racist. It's so fun. It's very funny. So I thought that we were all on the same team with this, and this lady was apparently, this lady, Willie Dean, saying horrific shit about disabled people and fucking mentally challenged people and using the words that we couldn't say 9 months ago but are suddenly great to say again. We all love them. And this lady's like losing her mind. I'm like, this lady is the best audience member ever. I come up, I say one thing, making fun of the host, and she's like, fuck this white supremacist piece of shit.
I got a quick story, somewhat related, and then I'll get into my original story. I just did a show at Chuckles on the Pilchuck. Have you done that show up in Snohomish?
Yeah, I've done it a couple times. 3 times, I think.
I just did it for my first time, and it's a small audience. It's a cool room. I like the room. I'm happy to do it again. But
Blake Kiltoff produced it? Yeah.
Yes. Long-running show, like 7 years they've been doing the show.
Long.
Very long. So
I did it when Gabe Rutledge would still do it for like $150 or whatever the pay is.
Oh, damn. So I'm there. I'm headlining the show. Small crowd, and all of a sudden, like maybe 5 or 10 minutes before I'm about to go up, a cop comes in, and I'm like, this is a first for me. I've never had this happen, and I'm like confused, like, why is a cop here? Because I've seen nothing that would warrant a cop showing up. So a cop shows up. I see a guy from a table that's like right by the stage get up, start talking to the cop, like giving a report on something. And like nobody knows what's going on. Bartenders don't know what's going on.
If this ends with you saying there was a killing and then the cop is a stripper, I'm going to fucking hate this story.
Well,
you're killing
now.
You're killing
Spoiler.
and the cop is a stripper?
No. So everybody's like kind of like, you can hear it like murmur, like what's going on, you know, what's happening. So
that's what you want when you're on stage?
Yeah.
You were on stage?
Not yet.
Okay.
I'm sitting at the...
Well, that's best possible case scenario outside of no cop coming and disrupting the show.
Yeah. So I'm sitting at the bar. I'm I'm watching the cop. I'm like waiting because I'm, close to going up. And I'm like, well, I'm clearly going to have to address this when I get up there. So it comes time for me to get on stage. I get up on stage. I start talking about how there's a cop here and I'm nervous, and I'm talking to the table like right at front because it's the guy that's talking to the cop is like from that table. So
Gotcha.
I'm talking to that group and I'm like, what happened here? And apparently there was a couple not tied to this group, but just sitting right next to him. The guy hit his wife of 40 years. I don't know why they knew how long this couple had been together, because they don't know him. I don't know like where this information was released, but apparently she had 3 glasses of wine and he was upset about it and hit her. Mm-hmm. So the guy that's talking to the cop followed him out and then like called the cops. And so for like literally my entire 45-minute set, the cops like doing a report, and then there's multiple cops outside. They're trying to get film on the thing. And I'm like, how do I dig out? Like, it was not at all what I was expecting when I asked, like, what's going on here. Certainly not a story you want to come up right before you're about to start doing comedy.
That's
just
rough.
Domestic violence,
Yeah.
So I did my best with it. It ended up being a fun show.
Yeah.
The people that were left were fine. Like, I was able to, like, joke kind of about the situation, but in a nice way, and like work my way into the set. It did make me I was thinking after the show, I'm like, man, if that was like a couple years ago, I don't know how I would have handled that. I was very proud that I was able to like get the show moving. Everybody forgot about the violence. And then I leave the venue to...
You smoothed over domestic violence.
I smoothed it over.
That's a common comedian
smoothed it over.
Comedian childhood story.
What's really strange too is I have a weird thing with my shoulder where it'll flare up and I have like a nasty dull ache in my shoulder. That's like not really as painful as it is just like nagging in your brain that I can't get rid of. All day long I had this pain in my shoulder, and then domestic violence, and I'm like,
domestic violence cured your shoulder?
Was I having sympathy pains?
Is that, you think that's the secret antidote for your...
It could be because my father was an abusive guy.
So do you think you had an ache, and the only thing that could cure it was witnessing domestic violence? Is that what you're saying?
I had a fever, and the only cure was domestic violence.
So obviously I'm not going to say anything that's like too clippable and would get me in trouble, but I will say I have never seen any crazy domestic violence stuff like that, like in a close quarters setting.
Public domestic violence is absolutely insane.
Sure. I remember when I used to work at Taco Time, not to brag.
You bring it up every podcast. I don't think we've done a podcast that you haven't mentioned.
I bet it's on
working at Taco Time.
I bet it's on 2 other episodes at the most.
Nope.
All right, folks.
Check the tape.
Archivists out there.
Check the tape.
Find it, folks. Jess has MS, so he's got holes in his brain or whatever that means. That Jess can find it. He's got to start doing some work on this podcast. Go find these Taco Time mentions. Well, I got some assignments for you, actually.
Good.
So good, because folks, just so you know, all the work that you're seeing, like it or not, being done by one Casey McLean. I had this family come in, and it was like 8:00. We closed at 9, so it's like there's nobody there. It's like slow. By this time, typically, I would be like mopping with a dip in my mouth to try to get ahead of closing. And the dad is like very obviously, they got like 6 kids and a wife, and the dad is very obviously just abusive to fucking everyone.
Yeah.
He doesn't hit anyone in front of me, but he was like but he's like trying to do whatever gaslighting bullshit he does to keep them in his life to me, like trying to get me to basically give him food for a discount or free because he's complaining about how expensive it is and how he's got these hungry kids. I'm like, dude, I'm 16. I got nothing to fucking... I got no say over the menu. And he's also being an asshole. It's not like... If he came in and he was like, dude, I'm hungry, I'd be like, hey, man, we're going to be closing. I will give you a bunch of shit. You just got to go to the back door where the cameras are.
Right.
You know, this was a guy that was like... He was just trying to like swindle me out of some fucking beef tacos or whatever. And yeah, that's probably the closest I found. I have heard stories though about like many times at comedy shows. Weirdly, I've heard like I've been at Tacoma Comedy Club when someone comes to the back and they're like, "This fucking couple with us." They're like arguing loudly with each other, like loud at the table, not like screaming in the room, but like I think there's like we need to call the cops. Like but anyways. I don't know how to dig out of this domestic violence hole. I say don't do it. That's my stance.
If you take anything from this podcast,
yeah, don't
hit.
Yeah,
don't hit. I went to start a story about a show other than the one that I was just talking about, and I don't know what worked my way out of it.
Okay. Do you not know?
That happened? No, I was just gonna say because you were talking about people leaving quietly, and that's the nice thing to do. I just did a show at Bigfoot Pizza. Have you been to Bigfoot Pizza? On
Have not. Narin Van.
First, Narin Van. Shout out. Runs a lot of shows. He's got a lot of rooms.
Book Daddy.
Don't book him. But I was doing a show there, and there was a guy. I think he showed up like right as I was getting on stage, but he's like basically on stage. There's like a little two-top right next to me here, and then everybody else is out, spread out. And he just immediately goes to heckling, but not in a way that you can like really do anything with, because he's just like drunk as shit. The things he's saying are stupid, but like not anything worth touching on, really. Sure. But he just keeps going. I had to work that day. It was a Saturday. I had to work on a Saturday. Did not have a great day. I'm not happy. Yeah. I'm not a happy guy right now. Yeah. I don't want to make people laugh. You ever feel like that? Like you're not in a good mood, so you're like, I don't want anybody else to be in a good mood.
Yeah, I can usually snap myself out of it, but there are times when I go in with a shitty attitude. Do you remember that show we did in? I'm not going to say the producer just in case it gets, but we did it was like Bothell-ish. Maybe it wasn't Snohomish, but it was like up in that area. Let's say Bothell.
Yeah.
And you'll remember the story because I got booked at a price that was higher than they intended to book me at. And I was angry that they booked me to feature, but they quoted me the headliner money. And I was trying to prove a point.
That was a fun show. We had a good time. Yeah, we both did.
Yeah,
that was a lot of fun.
And I will say, like, I like the guy that was headlining, but he struggled, and it made it like even more. The contrast was stark because we had like really crushed, and it was like a tough. I think I'm like typically. I think I'm a good comic, but I don't think I'm a tough follow typically. Gotcha. And in this case, I was like, I think I was like a tough follow because I was like, I'm gonna do my. So the story of this is I got booked to feature for headliner money. The person who was originally on the poster to headline was our friend Charles Hall, who I would like has opened for me a bunch. Because it was him, like I think any show Charles is headlining, I should also be headlining.
Fair.
But because it's my buddy, I'm like I'll go do this. It's also I don't need to like. Sometimes you'll do a show because you want the booker. You want to meet the booker and let them show them that you're good. I know these bookers. I knew these people. But I'm like, Charles is the guy. I love Charles, so I'll go feature for Charles for great money, I thought.
Yeah.
And then the day of, they text me and they're like, "Hey, our other comic dropped out. Can you find someone?" And then I asked you, and then they told me how much they were going to pay you, and I was like, now it feels suspicious how much you're going to pay me for just 5 more minutes.
Oh.
And then also they said of you, they were like, we headlined him last month, and I'm like, yeah, that's fine. Like that you should be kissing my ass then. That I got a guy that you headlined to do. And then I think eventually I started to like put together that I think they might have quoted me the wrong price. And I messaged the guy and I was like, hey, this is the price, right? And he's like, no, that's the headliner pay. We could talk about you headlining someday. And I'm like, dude, I've already headlined stuff for you. Like there's, you and I've talked about this a fair amount. There's some people who I probably headlined for earlier than I should have, who have like demoted me in their mind. And I'm just I'm never going to work hard enough to get promoted back in their mind to make like a couple $100 extra in a year. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And this is one of those guys. They're like, I don't hate the guy, but it's just like, if he booked me to headline, I would do the show. If he didn't book me to headline, I'm not going to do the show. Mm-hmm. There's a couple bookers that I feel that way about. And by the way, they feel that same way. Like if I was better, I guess they would headline me. Fine. That's perfectly fine. But I went in with a fucking chip on my shoulder.
Oh, yeah.
And just did 20 of the like absolute best 25. I would say I fit 25 minutes of material into 20 minutes to just be like, we're gonna never let these motherfuckers stop. And it's one of the few shows I didn't film. I think my camera had a problem or something. I wish I could have got it on film because I wouldn't have used anything from it, I don't think, because I didn't have good audio and it's not like a venue that's like picturesque in any way.
Yeah.
But it was, dude, I mean, And then there was like 40 people there. I sold like 10 shirts. It was like great. It was a lot of fucking, and proved my point and still haven't heard from that person ever again. He was very complimentary and then just never have heard from, which is fine.
That was a fun show. We both.
And then we had Burger Master after, which I'm now remembering. And
we ate some stand-up burgers.
I think we did eat stand-up. We did stand-up comedy and ate stand-up burgers because I didn't want to eat in my car. I think Burger Master, best fast food burger in Tacoma, or in Washington State. Not in Tacoma, Washington State.
Wow.
I put it way over Dick's. The new Frisco Freeze in Tacoma is better than the old Frisco Freeze.
Have you had Bomburger in Tacoma, which is from a guy that worked at the original Frisco Freeze?
I have not had Bomburger, I don't think. Where is Bomburger at?
It's on 6th. It's just a food truck. It's down past Oaks, I believe.
Okay.
I can never remember what corner it's on, but it's just like in a little parking lot off 6th.
I might have had it delivered to my house before. If it's
interesting,
if it's realistic that it would be delivered, it might be too close. I don't know.
Gotcha. It's a 2-burger burger.
Oh yeah, we've talked about this.
Yeah.
I have a theory, folks, that maybe I've talked about on the podcast. It's all blending together. We've done so many episodes. We've done this is our 8th episode or something like that. Burger. I categorize burger. I don't care about fries, so I categorize burger places into 1-burger or 2-burger places. Which is, would it be realistic to trade the fries for a second burger?
Yeah.
And that's my move. I would always prefer to have a second burger to fries.
Yes.
Always. Which, by the way, I know there's a lot of jokes available in this. I have a frame that says the guy that eats 2 burgers. I have a joke on my special about it. But I do think there's like a Dick's in Seattle or like InNOut. Is a more national example. Like InNOut, I'm having 2 burgers, no fries. I don't give a shit about those styrofoamy fries at all.
Yeah.
Did we have InNOut in? No, we didn't. I had it with Alex Kaufman.
No.
They have them in Southern Oregon. They have some InNOuts.
I've had it available to me, but I've never. I've had InNOut, I think, once in my life, but I've not like made. I don't care about it where I'm like, oh, you got to have InNOut if it's available. I was not that awfully impressed by it.
The first time I had it as an adult was on that Vegas trip that I talked about.
Mm-hmm.
The other time I had it maybe is, I'm not certain I had it. And you'll understand why it was not like a magical experience. I was with my grandma lived in Palm Springs.
Ugh.
I know I got family members. I got a home. It's a whole thing. I really have put together a life.
Grandma in Palm Springs.
I got children.
Wow.
She's a very frugal lady, so anytime she goes to a restaurant, it's like she's got to get this.
She has to be. She lives in Palm Springs.
Hyper discounted. She was like, when value menus came out at fast food restaurants, she was like, "Oh yeah, I'll go have 1 burger. I'll go have a burger," and then somehow like lives off of 1 junior bacon cheeseburger or some shit like that. I think we went to InNOut. If InNOut has a value menu, we went to InNOut and I got food off the value menu. If not, I'm thinking of a different place. But that was the only time I had been to California at that point in my life.
Gotcha.
And we had burgers at some day, but it was like the worst burgers on the menu. We had exclusively the worst burgers on the menu.
Yeah, you got the out.
Yeah, just out. No in for me.
I want to say the only time I've been to InNOut also was the trip to Vegas that I went on. It might actually be the cause of the legendary fart.
The
Vegas.
now legendary fart.
Yeah.
I also think, by the way, we have at least one in Washington State now. Shake Shack is very good. Have you ever had Shake Shack?
I haven't had Shake Shack.
My sister lived in Chicago for several years, and so they had like different chain restaurants there. They had all the chain restaurants. We have like 75% of the chain restaurants, and they get all of them in Chicago pretty much. So yeah, Shake Shack, when it came here, she's like, "You got to try this. I think you'll like it." And she was right. She nailed it.
I don't. When I moved down to Oregon, I had never seen a Carl's Jr. I didn't have any clue about it, but there was like commercials all the time, and I had it, and it's not great. And then they moved up to Washington now.
You don't like Carl's Jr.?
I mean, it's fine.
All right,
but I'm not
we can close the podcast out on this. I think let's rank them. What's your number one? Give me like your top 5 fast food restaurants.
Fast food restaurants in general.
I'm willing to do 2 categories.
Okay.
The freestyle category, all food styles, and then also the burgers only category if you'd like.
Okay, fair. I would say best fast food in general.
Mm-hmm.
And this is like, if we're just like, we don't care, health is not a thing.
It's not important
it's
to
all
me.
just
I don't know
about
about
flavor.
you, but it's not
all
important to
just
me.
about flavor. I would say Taco Bell is probably my favorite. I don't eat it a lot, but like, golly, when
I've
you
actually
have a craving,
heard that I believe there was a
gotta live
study
moss.
that it's the most healthy of the like fast food.
I've seen that too, and it's crazy because then is Taco Time not considered fast food?
Well, Taco
'Cause that
Time
would be the
Northwest is
healthiest.
only in a very narrow
so
range.
it's not even.
So
in
there's
the,
Taco
not
Time
in the
and there's
running.
Taco Time Northwest. What we refer to
Gotcha.
as Taco Time is actually Taco Time Northwest. We don't have regular Taco Times here.
Are the other Taco Times not as fresh?
It's very different.
Very different. Okay.
I actually was
Okay.
on a Taco Time podcast where I learned the whole histrionics of this. But so Taco Bell, anyways. And by the way, once you finish your total list, I'll do mine, and then we can alternate on the burgers or do the burger thing alternating also.
Okay. I think for just fast food burgers.
No, Taco Bell.
Taco
do your
Bell.
top five. Do your top five total.
Oh, top 5?
Yeah, top five.
How
of
many
all.
are there?
Fast food restaurants? A lot.
Oh God. Top 5. I would say Taco Bell, Wendy's, McDonald's, which I haven't. I used to eat a lot of McDonald's. I don't. Eat McDonald's
You and I
so
had a
much
stretch where
anymore.
we were doing the road together a lot, and I have a theory about McDonald's that I think holds up, which is if you're in an airport, if you're in a city, if you got to fly or travel soon, I'm not saying it's going to make you feel good, but it's not going to make you shit. It might seal you up.
Okay. I used to be a big Jack in the Box fan. There are things I still like at Jack in the Box that I'll get once in a blue moon.
Sure.
I love a breakfast Jack.
Never had a breakfast Jack.
You've never had a breakfast
I don't
Jack?
think so. Maybe I have, but
They're nice. They're
Okay.
nice. That's a 2 breakfast sandwich. Breakfast
does it
sandwich.
come on like a burger bun? But it's
It is
I
on a
think I've had a
burger
breakfast
bun.
Jack,
It is
yeah.
on a burger
I
bun.
found that
It's
jarring at first,
egg,
but I could
cheese, and ham.
and a bigger slice of ham than a McMuffin.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. And a nice fried egg. They get a good like kind of a crispies. You get the crispies on the egg, and I like that.
I've heard a rumor they don't make it till you order it.
That's
Hey, I'm a spokesman for.
look into that.
Yeah,
Look into that.
That's actually it is one of their things. After the E. coli scare in the '90s, they.
Gotcha. Well, that's what I like about Wendy's is they never frozen.
Ah.
Yeah, nice fresh patty.
So we got Taco Bell, Wendy's, McDonald's.
McDonald's
Used to like Jack in the Box.
used to like
Very
Jack
important
in the
information to have.
Box.
Does it show up on the list? We don't know.
I'm gonna put it on the list because there are things I still like about
Okay.
it.
All
I
right.
like about it. Do they still do the pita?
I have no idea.
I used to get a pita there.
Jack in the Box took some big swings. They had like an Asian chicken salad at one point. You're like, who the fuck is
Oh
this
yeah.
for?
Oh, a teriyaki bowl.
Yeah,
they had?
who's going to? I mean, I guess at whatever time in the morning, there's no teriyaki restaurants open. Oh, you got one left.
Is Chipotle considered fast food?
I would say it's
pretty
fast
quick.
casual.
It's
in a
pretty quick.
What I would say qualifies something as fast food is drive-through.
Okay.
That, by the way, I do think our nearby Chipotle does have a drive-through, but it's not a common feature at Chipotle.
Yeah, kind of like because Subways have drive-throughs.
Do they?
Yeah,
That's terrible.
It seems that's a longer thing than Chipotle.
I've never thought Subway was good. We have an argument about this.
No.
Even by the way, like a lot of these places that are getting by on really low quality, like deli meats, get out of here.
Get out of here. I will say. So what am I on? 4 now?
You're on 4.
4. 5th, and it kind of we're getting into the bottom of the barrel here. Like I don't eat fast food often, so like to get down to 4s and 5s, I'm like, I guess I would say Arby's.
Okay.
A beef and cheddar every now and then.
I haven't had.
I haven't had one in years, but
I hadn't had one since I might have been a child the last time, like a literal child the last time I had Arby's, and then me and Phil Klingler.
Yeah.
We were driving to Rockport, Washington, which is like a town that basically doesn't exist. I don't know if anyone lives there. You're driving and you're like, how can there be a comedy show here? And then a bar just like an oasis in the desert, but it's in the forest and it's a bar, shows up and you're like, shit, no, we didn't do that together last time. But at the bottom of the mountain, there's an Arby's and a gas station. So we had we had beefs and cheddars, 2 each. Again, it's a 2 sandwich type of sandwich. Yeah, okay. So mine is I'm Taco Bell 1, I think.
Yeah. Okay.
My number 2 fast food item, we can do this list another time, is the Crunchwrap Supreme. My number 1 is the Popeyes sandwich. But Taco Bell, the breadth of the menu. Popeyes. It's got so many good items.
Oh yeah.
And so I'm
good
giving
breakfast stuff too.
I haven't had the breakfast.
Breakfast Crunchwrap? Ooh, daddy.
I mean, wow. If that still exists,
buddy, let me tell you something.
It exists?
If it doesn't,
how long ago did you have
it? If it doesn't, I swear to God,
Miss Lorena Martinez,
I'm coming after
or
you.
whatever. That might be a Mariners trainer. Remember when they were having the Lorena Garcia or something? Remember the when they had that lady that was like at the she's the Taco Bell cantina chef on the commercials. I might know too much about Taco Bell. I might be revealing too much about myself here. Anyways, let's find out. We'll find out for the next episode if. That would be a fun segment for like a Patreon, is to go try fast food items.
Yeah.
Dueling fast food items.
Yeah.
So Popeye's chicken sandwich is number 1 for me. My number 3 all-time fast food item is that also at my number 3 restaurant, which I think might have been, was it your number 3 restaurant also, is the McGriddle. Sausage, egg, and cheese McGriddle.
Yes.
I love McDonald's.
Expensive now, a McGriddle. They're like $7 or some shit. It's crazy.
Maybe you're probably wrong, but the egg prices could be affecting this. Anyways, I think I will go and I'm gonna go national chains, not local chains, because you hate local companies, so I'll follow in your path. I think I put Jack in the Box 4 because there's again the tacos are back to 99 cents. By the way, we're back. It's like it's the 90s again.
Tacos.
It's like the 90s again. If they bring back the big cheeseburger, I might start smoking weed again,
buddy.
If they bring that back, I might start smoking weed. I might start watching the Ninja Turtles. We used to be so hungover and go to Jack in the Box and get 4 tacos and a big cheeseburger and a big fucking Sprite. And just, that was like a hangover cure in high school. And so my 5th, and we're past time. This is going to be a little bit longer episode. You get a little bonus action here, folks. Number 5. I might, for the sake of the argument, I like Carl's Jr., but would I put it that high? Where do we go? Wendy's is okay. Jack in the Box has good curly fries too.
Oh yeah. You're kind of pushing Jack in the Box up my list.
It's you think of these like crazy things they have. The ultimate bacon ultimate cheeseburger, really good.
Oh yeah.
Just straight up ultimate cheeseburger, very good. I never got into like the sourdough. I don't need any of that bullshit. Just give me a normal
sourdough Jacks. Oh, buddy, Jack in the Box it's working up the ranks.
Not too late.
It's working up.
You've already denigrated Jack in the Box. Okay, I was gonna go controversial, but I don't think that I can get one that actually fits because technically Little Caesars has a drive-through. But I don't think the pizza's good enough to be that high on the list.
Okay.
I wanted a little bit of variety in my I was gonna go a controversial route. I think I don't know. This is really a big decision.
Play it safe. This is huge.
This is huge. I mean,
the suspense.
Whoever gets into the 5th,
should we save it till the next episode? Leave them on a cliffhanger. What's it gonna be? What disgusting fast food does Casey McLean like? It's 5th.
I'll go Wendy's, and I think that the freshness is good. The Baconator.
Okay.
I like the Baconator.
Okay.
I actually would probably do Baconator no bacon. Like if they just would just a shitload. The Bacon Ultimate Cheeseburger is cheese, and that's fucking it.
Yeah. What do you think about the introduction of vanilla and strawberry Frosties?
I have no feelings about it. Haven't tried one. Don't care.
I won't do it.
Dairy Queen could have probably made the cut. Dairy Queen underrated.
I worked
strips
at
and
Dairy Queen. Completely forgot about Dairy Queen.
Dairy
as a
Queen's
restaurant.
very good. We get my daughter has no taste in ice cream, so just any ice cream. She likes soft serve better than anything.
Yeah.
And I've
Dip
soft
cone?
serve a little bit lower calorically than, well, actually quite a bit than regular ice cream. Look it up. It's true. Don't fucking give me that.
They
skeptical
replace
look.
the calories with glue.
I think it's air. I mean, it's like much. That's why it's so soft. Instead of being like a compacted cement ice cream, but okay, we got to go to our list of we got to get through this burger list quicker because people gotta hate this. I'll do mine first because we can go. We obviously the first one is gonna be, what do we say? Was McDonald's my first burger place on the list? What was my second? Oh, Popeyes. So McDonald's is the first burger place, which is controversial. We can go locals here. I'm going Burger Master #1. I'm going, there's a place in Federal Way called Burger Express. That's #2. There is a drive-thru.
Is Pickwick still a place?
Pickwick's still a place. We can count it for this purpose. I don't think there's a drive-thru, but...
Okay, I haven't had it in a while. I don't know if it's changed. Last time I had Pickwick, I had a good stretch where I was eating Pickwick all that. We'd get quad burgers at Pickwick.
Pickwick,
Put
very
a fourth
good.
patty on that.
Very good. What I will say is, as a Fife native,
Yeah.
angry at the expansion. They started expanding.
No.
Auburn, Seattle.
No.
There's got to be more locations. Because the one in Fife, they would be like, yeah, we're closed for 5 months out of the year because it's too hot or too cold for us to operate, because we're not going to put any insulation and we're not putting in a heater or a goddamn air conditioner. We just do, we have a seasonal burger restaurant.
That's why you got to pick so quick. Like, please just go.
I'm starting to wonder if, because that where the original restaurant is located is like in an area that used to be like cabbage fields, and I wonder if it was... I wonder if there's a dubious reason for the name. Anyways, so Pickwick's good. I'll say, so I got Burger Master 1. What did I say was 2? Oh, Burger Express in, whatever fucking city I said, in Federal Way. Great, by the way. Boz Burger, named after Seahawks dubious legend Brian Bosworth. #3, I'll go McDonald's. I'll stand by it. I think maybe not the greatest burgers, but a triple cheeseburger. I'm telling you, it's like it really gets the meat to bread ratio right finally, because they're such small patties.
Yeah.
Triple cheeseburger. Dick's, I'll go 4 Dick's, 5 Frisco Freeze. So we've got the one big national big dog, and then we'll... Because I don't really get burgers very often. I'm a big taco guy at Jack in the Box.
Yeah. They do have a delicious
They're
taco.
terrible, but they are so good.
It's like not even really a taco. It's a
it's
a different thing.
Yeah, it's horrific.
But are they deep fried? They deep fry
they
those
deep fry.
things. Yeah.
And they put lettuce inside of it and then deep fry the lettuce.
Pre-fry.
And it somehow works.
Yeah, they're doing
makes
things,
no sense.
They're doing things at Jack in the Box that just you can't do it anywhere else, I don't think.
Yeah, I know. It's the real just unique talents over there.
I'm not
Never give you enough ranches. That's, by the way, that's the biggest.
When did that start? They used to shower us with ranch.
No, they'll fight you on it now.
We got
They'll
too
fight
much
you on it
ranch, please.
If you get an old school employee, they're ready to beat your ass for asking for too many ranches.
I've never experienced that. I guess I haven't been to Jack in the Box in several years, so things have changed. Things have changed.
Quick burger list. Let's get.
I don't want to do it.
Fucking scared.
No,
scared of offending?
because you're going like.
You said Pickwick.
These aren't even like not all fast food. They're like not even chains. Some of them, are they?
Well, I mean, I think every place I said, Dick's is a chain, regional chain. Burger Master is a regional chain. Frisco Freeze is not. Burger Express is not. McDonald's is a national chain.
Okay, I'm gonna go.
Oh fuck, I'm wrong. Zips in Spokane is way better than Dick's. Take Dick's off my list and replace Zips. Destroys Dick's.
I like a Zips. I will. Yeah, that's gonna be in there. I'm gonna say. So
and they don't appreciate it out there, by the way.
Well,
they don't know what they have.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay, I'm gonna go. I'll match you on the Burger Master being first. I like that. I like Frisco Freeze. But now I like Bomb Burger more than Frisco Freeze because it's like
Burger.
It's you gotta try it.
I also should have put Shake Shack in there somewhere.
I haven't had Shake Shack. I'm gonna go. Oh God, this sucks. I hate making lists. I'm not gonna finish.
I mean, we're waiting until you finish. The podcast cannot continue until
podcast death. So
well, you're making it that if
I'll
we went
go,
quickly.
Burger Master, Zips, Frisco Freeze. Can we do burgers that don't exist currently but used to at a fast food place that still exists?
Okay. I might criticize it if I hate it.
Okay, the mushroom Swiss burger from Dairy Queen.
I like a mushroom Swiss burger.
I tried to come back and I went to the place I used to work at to revisit, and I ordered a mushroom Swiss, and they had no idea what I was talking about, and boy, that makes you feel good. So I'll go mushroom Swiss burger from Dairy Queen. Just think about how great it would be.
Yeah.
You'll never.
I mean, nothing like fast food mushrooms, folks. That's
because it's in a gravy. Oh, God. Nobody does a mushroom Swiss burger the way that Dairy Queen did a mushroom Swiss burger. Everybody just puts it's just mushrooms. There's not they don't make a nice gravy with it. You get an aioli, sure, but Dairy Queen had an aioli, a garlic aioli. Sure. Nice.
Were they calling it aiolis? Were they calling them aiolis back then, or are you retroactively assigning aioli?
It was garlic aioli.
Okay. All right. Whatever this guy says.
Garlic mayo. They were calling it garlic mayo. You got me. And then for my fifth, we're on 5 now, right?
Yep.
Fifth, I'm going to say, I'm just going to do Wendy's. I do like a Wendy's burger. They salt the patty.
Every place should be salting the patty.
Every place should be salting the patty.
I believe that McDonald's somehow dropped on this list. I think it was higher than Wendy's in the original list. Or was Wendy's second? No, Wendy's was second.
Well, because we're just talking burgers.
Wendy's was second. You're right. I'm wrong. Okay. Thanks, folks. Too long at the end. We apologize. Jess sucks at making lists. And now we have potential. We'll get Jess to try Shake Shack and me to try Jess's weird mushroom gravy. All right.
Bye.